Isn't that a miracle?
Miracle.
It's amazing. Well, of course, when Gabriele Garini arrived here, there wasn't too much to say like today. Okay? So it was pretty empty with a nice green grass. Buongiorno. Nice green grass over there, and the four beautiful monuments that were raised up from the grass. Okay. So what are the monuments? Over there on the left side, you can see the monumental cemetery. Yeah, we'll see it, later much closer and much better. Then the circular shaped monument is the baptistry. Over there you can see the cathedral, the most important church of Pisa, and of course over there, almost hiding itself, the leaning tower of Pisa. Okay? Did you take the picture? Because this is a very good spot to see and to take the picture with all the monuments all together. Okay? So let's move forward. I'm pictures anyway. You have enough time later if you want to take pictures, so don't worry about that. Okay? So the first monument that was built was, of course, the cathedral. The cathedral construction started in 1063 after a very important battle that there was for Pisa. This battle didn't take place here in Tuscany, but the battle took place in the south of Italy, in Sicily region, in Palermo. We're going to stop there on the right, as there is a little bit of shade. So if you want to take the shade, otherwise you don't use this. Okay? Compromise, I think, because there isn't so much, shade.
Hey, puppy.
So, the battle of Palermo. Palermo in the south of Italy, and this region is known as the Battle of Palermo. And the Pisans, of course, won, which is the local tradition called the Savage Pirates. And according to the legend, says 7 vessels
Ooh.
of gold. The Pisans started the construction.
Yeah.
No. In particular,
Can I have that? Just kidding.
Busqueto is the name of the first and most important architect that designed the Cathedral of Pisa right after the Battle of Palermo 10 months ago. He was not an Italian architect, he was an architect coming from Middle Eastern countries. This is just a fine fact that he introduced here in Pisa the so-called Pisa Romanesque style. What does it mean? Pisa was invented here in Pisa. So Romanesque, because in that period in the history of art, it's known as Romanesque style. But Pisa Romanesque means that a mix of several elements of several features coming from other traditions and cultures. In particular, for example, if you look at the domes of Pisa, you can see that our light tree western dome, but it's got a particular shape that looks like more an Islamic dome. We had a lot of Arabic influence here in Pisa because remember, Pisa was a multi-continent. In addition to that, still Arabic influence, the alternation of the main colors, black and white. An element that comes from the Romanesque style in general, you can see in the lower part of the facade, also all along the perimeter of the cathedral, round arches. Okay, that's a typical element of the Romanesque style. Still in the lower part of the facade, you can see 3 beautiful mosaics. Who do they represent? Santa Reparata on the left, okay, one of the first Christian martyrs. Right above the central gate, Assumption of the Virgin, because the cathedral is dedicated to the Virgin. That's why you can see on top of the facade the highest statue represents the Virgin with the baby. Last but not least, on the right, background that you can see, golden background means Byzantine influence we also have here. Last but not least, still in the lower part of the facade, do you see those geometric figures, triangles, circles, there are squares, also one inside the other, okay? You may think that they need to be beautiful, it's the content of the mosaic, but it's in fact called marble inlays. What does it mean? Marble inlays means taking a piece of marble, carving it, usually creating geometric or could be also floral shapes, floral holes at that, and then those holes had to be filled up with smaller pieces of stones that had exactly the fit in the holes created before, usually using different colors in order to create beautiful contrasts. It's amazing, and artists have to be really, really skilled to do that. Do you have any questions about the cathedral? Anyway, we're getting closer to it, so you can take pictures much, much better and much, much better. Any questions about that? Yes, please. Yes, it's an active there is the mosque, okay, and there is the service every day in the northern transit. You know what you see over there? Okay, the part that you see coming out, it's called the transit. The cathedral has got a Latin cross shape. The frontal part is called the transit. What you see over there is the southern machine. So the service is every day on the other side, okay, on the northern transit. But in the
Old people
on
on top.
Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
there is a service in the central place. In the morning, the cathedral is, well, I don't want to say closed. It is open for service, it is open for tourists, but explanations are not allowed inside, and also pictures are not allowed inside. So you're just allowed to get in, pay a very bad special ticket to go inside, have a photo, and then go
Puppy.
outside.
That treat.
No horario specifico. The entry is usually closed, even if it's free to get inside. So if you stayed, not to
Look at the.
bother you, so the ceremonial is very beautiful, large. We have huge paintings only to baptize people. And that's the function of the cathedral. So imagine how much easier and powerful that time is when the fact that using monuments only for baptism. Around the cathedral, unbaptized people were not allowed to go inside the cathedral for some time. They have to wait for some time the architect is called the architect who started the construction of the cathedral in the 15th century. So, in the background, it's considered to be a state-of-the-art structure. I mentioned before St. John the Baptist, that's why you can find the St. John the Baptist on top of the cathedral. But looking at the dome, you can see that it's got a very particular shape. You see one dome, but it's in fact made up of two different domes, one inside the other. So it's a microscopical image of a cone turned upside down. And you can see the triangular part of the dome that was later covered with tapestry. The tapestry dome is that particular shape. Why am I telling you that? Because the shape of the baptistry dome is strictly connected with the illustration that is put alongside the baptism every day, and it's called the Echo of the Baptistry. If you want to take too much time listening to it, simply go inside and listen to it. What does it mean? It means that every day, every half an hour, the guardian who is in charge of the baptistry, they will illuminate the dome. He asks for silence, and then he sings with his voice near the effect that we have thanks to the empty space in between the two domes that works as a sound box, as an acoustic box. It doesn't seem that a voice is singing, but it seems more than a musical instrument. Usually we talk about religious thing. So it's a beautiful and amazing demonstration, an amazing event that happens every day. So now let's see the inside and the back. It's not a long demonstration, it lasts like 30 seconds, maximum 1 minute, but believe me, you won't find it anywhere else. I'll tell you very, very soon where the ticket office is, just in case you want to visit it. Okay? Any questions about that? No questions. Okay. So now andiamo and we go closer to the cathedral and we walk around the cathedral to end up at the view. Okay? Andiamo, let's go. Careful, mind the little step. Did you see, do you notice it? Tiles on the western side and then lead. Lead is also the same material that you can see covering the roof of the monumental cemetery. Why are there two different materials? So, the Florentines, you know about the rivalry, you've probably heard about the rivalry between Pisa and Florence. The Florentines used to say that it's an historical rivalry, of course. Florence conquered Pisa twice in the history, in 1406 and in 1509. The Florentines used to say that here the Pisans were stingy people, so they didn't have enough money to finish the cover in lead, and so they used the tiles to finish it. But what is the truth? On the side where the tiles are, so western side, this direction, not far from here at all, there was the official entry of the Pisan port. That's why Pisa was a maritime republic. And the coastline of the sea used to be much closer to the city center in the past than it is nowadays. So from west blows a wind, a very salty wind called libeccio, and so the Pisans, in order to avoid lead oxidation, they decided to put on the western side tile to not to have them oxidated. Okay, so that's the truth. Okay, very nice, very interesting. But you know, we always have to tell stories about this historical rivalry between Pisa and Florence. I'm sure that where you're from, there are also rivalries between cities, but also little towns. It's, you know, as we say in Italian, tutto il mondo è paese. I don't know how to translate it into English, but it means all the world is a tiny place. It means that all the things that are more or less all over the world. Okay.
Hey. Bro.
Look at Papa's eyes.
realmente era como para subrayar el camino que se hacía saliendo de acá. Se tiene la posibilidad de entrar en la catedral.
E stratificata. Și tu când o bați cu o scarpelă,
So this beautiful collection of about 80 Roman original sarcophagi. Also, there are several statues dedicated to Pisans and not Pisans that made Pisa important and famous both at national and international level. But last but not least, there used to be inside the monumental cemetery a beautiful cycle of frescoes. So you have to imagine that the shape of the monumental cemetery has got a rectangular shape. So it's like a huge courtyard. The perimeter is covered while the central part is open air. And the four inner walls used to be completely decorated with a huge cycle of frescoes. 2,000 square meters of frescoes, 300 years of them from the 14th to the 17th century. Amazing. But then what happened? Unfortunately, something very bad happened, because during the Second World War, on the 27th of July 1944, we had a bombing here in Pisa. And a fragment, a very small fragment of a bomb hit the level roof of the monumental cemetery that melted down and destroyed 40% of the frescoes. It was, as you can imagine, a huge, big disaster. We immediately had works of restoration that last, imagine that, until few years ago. So many decades of works of restoration. But during the works of restoration, something really incredible, a real treasure was found. I'm not talking about anything gold or silver or any precious stone or metal, but I'm talking about something related to the history of art. They found the so-called sinopie. Sinopia is the Italian word. The translation into English would be underpainting, sketch. Because almost all the frescoes used to have under them their correspondent sinopia, their correspondent underpainting. So what did they do? They, detached all the sinopie, and the very best ones preserved were put all together inside the same building. That was then transformed into the latest museum that was opened here in Miracle Square. And the latest museum is that red bricks building, okay? The red bricks building used to be part of the ancient hospital of Pisa, and then when all the sinopia were found, it was transformed into a museum. It was opened in 1979. So, where you read the poster on the right hand side, it's written, you can read biglietteria, okay? Ticket office. So that's the entry later, if you want, for the ticket office. Over there, the poster on the left hand side, you can read Museo delle Sinopie, the Underpaintings Museum. So it's another unique museum that you won't find anywhere else in the world. Okay? Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
The baptistry roof, half tile, half lead.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. Beg your pardon.
Do you remember when I told you that the Florentines used to say that the Pisans were stingy people?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. So on the side where the tiles are, western side, it's because of the salt,
Yeah.
okay, from the sea. That's why. No problem. Any other questions? Yes.
No, I didn't.
I've never thought about that. Why? Well, no. I mean, there are structures inside to support it, of course, but about the thickness, I've never, known about that. Okay? So, if you don't have any questions, let's go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, okay? Andiamo.
And there is also another ticket office, I will show you. We are now heading to the tower of the Leaning
Se passo da di proprio non lo vedono come tornare indietro. So che non è difficile, però non è scontato. Non vorrei poi si confondere
Ground and grass is so beautiful. Grass, everything is so
Oh yeah.
landscaping is gorgeous.
Oh, sorry. Go. I like. Oh, where is she? Up there? Oh. Everybody. Who's gonna go up?
Okay, wait a second. Okay, perfect. So, do you have any ideas of what the function of the tower is?
To be crooked.
Bell tower, brava. Yes, bell tower. That's why on the now we don't see because we are too close. But later when you are a little bit further, okay, taking also the picture, the typical picture in the tower, whatever, and I'll tell you a nice spot from which you can take the picture. The highest ring, it is the belfry. The belfry still hosts 7 huge original bronze bells that we heard the sound, okay, but they don't move, they don't ring anymore, fortunately, because imagine 7 huge bells, moving at the same time, once a day, and sometimes even more than once a day. It would be a nightmare for the tower's stability. So what did they do? They introduced an electronic sound that sounds, of course, every day at 12 on Sundays and also on the
I can't hear you.
occasions.
Oh, yes.
So the construction started in 1173, and it was built, the Leaning Tower, as a third monument. So after the cathedral first, then the baptistry, and third the Leaning Tower, because it was meant to be a bell tower, a straight bell tower. Okay, they didn't want to build it leaning, of course. Same as, I don't know if you've been to Florence, but same as in Florence, okay? There is the cathedral, Santa Maria del Fiore. In front of it there is the baptistry. Next to the cathedral, same as here, there is a straight bell tower. The difference is that the one in Florence, it doesn't lean, okay? So what happened? 1173 they started the construction. 1178, only after 5 years, they had to stop. In 5 years, they had built until the third ring. Okay, so you see the first one, the base, it's a sort of summary of the Pisan Romanesque elements. You see the round and lined arches, you can see the alternation of the two colors, the geometric figures, and the marble inlays inside. So all the sort of summary of the Pisan Romanesque elements. To move on. At that height, the building had already started leaning. That's why they had to stop. So what is the secret of the Leaning Tower? The secret is the soil. A very poor, soft, marshy soil that we have here in Pisa. Because I told you that Pisa's best period was in the Middle Ages, but the origins of Pisa date back to many, many centuries ago. It was established, it was found, it was settled better by the Etruscans in between the 9th and the 8th century before Christ. So many, many centuries before, at the confluence, at the intersection of two rivers. One of them is the Arno River, the longest river that we still have in Tuscany, and I'm sure you saw it before while you were coming from the port of Livorno. It's that direction, far from here, I would say 500, 600 meters, so it's very, very close to the square. The other river doesn't exist anymore, but still we have nowadays a very soft and sandy soil. This is the reason why the tower leans. It also leans, I must be honest, because it's a very heavy building as well. Why? Almost 60 meters high, almost 15,000 tons of weight, so extremely heavy, made up of two cylinders, one inside the other, with a staircase in between of 294 steps. Everything I've just told you made of marble, not the precious and the famous marble from Carrara, but marble coming from the Pisan melt, still marble, so very, very heavy. What happened? The works at the tower stopped for 1 century, so nobody wanted to go on with such a problematic project. The works started finally again in 1272. In just 6 years, so 1278, they completed the tower, with the exception of the last level, the belfry, the highest ring, was added later in the years around 1360. So it basically took them about 200 years to complete, to finish the construction. So a very, very long time. But how did they build the higher floors? They built the higher floors to the opposite direction than the first three, in order to balance exactly the inclination of the first three rings. How did they do that? How did they do that? So first of all, they used lighter materials inside the tower on the higher floors. And then, which is I think the most important one, The columns on the side of the inclination higher floors are a little bit taller than the other columns. On the opposite side, still on the higher floors, the columns are a little bit shorter. So in the end, they gave the Leaning Tower a curved shape. Okay, as we say in Italian, the tower has got a banana shape because it's not straight. Okay, it's not a straight building that at the end started leaning. It would have collapsed. No way. Okay, but in order to finish it, to complete it, they found this strategy of having it a little bit curved in order to finish it because they had to finish it. It was supposed to be, and it is still nowadays, the bell tower of the cathedral. Okay. The tower is stable. Lucky us, lucky me in particular, okay, is stable. We had a very long period of works of restoration, probably some of you remember that, in which the tower was completely closed to the public from 1990 to 2001. 11 years in which it was completely closed to the public, and what did they do? They anchored the tower to the ground with iron cables. Okay. After that, they put over there, so to the north of the tower, on the opposite side of the inclination, about 1,000 tons of lead as counterweights. After that, they started drilling out, taking out all the soil, the sand, the water from the northern side that was considered to be, that was meant to be in excess. By doing this, they improved a little bit the tower's inclination, 43 centimeters straighter. To stabilize the soil in the end, they injected underground a little bit of concrete, not that much, okay, not to make the soil too heavy, because in the end both the tower and the other buildings of the square got used. In the center you have this floating land, that's how it's called, okay, floating land with a lot of water, in particular underground. Sensors at the end of the work were put inside, and consider that still nowadays, every day, the tower oscillates, tiny. It makes very, very tiny, small oscillations that are perceived not by us but the machines that are inside. There are sensors inside to check if there was any motion, any movement. The last official check was made in 2011. They incredibly saw that the tower hadn't moved from 1 single millimeter. So they declared that the tower is stable, safe, and they predicted that this situation of stability will last for the next 200 years. So at the moment, we are all good. Me, my job, but also you, because you can come back and find the tower still there. Okay? Before we go to the meeting point, I want to tell you that the best spot from which you can see the banana shape of the tower, so that it's in fact really curved a little bit, you have to go over there at the end of the square where you can see that line of cypresses. Okay, that is the best spot from which to see the banana shape of the tower. Okay? Any questions?
Thank you. Good presentation.
Questions? Perfetto. So if you don't have any questions, now we are all going to your final meeting point.
Maman, où tu vois ça?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of work. Yeah. Just so, yeah. People don't see them, you'll see mine.
Why is that?
Okay.
Wonder why that is.
Well, it's like you said, the problem is not architecture, it's geology.
Whoa! Woo! Hello, hello, hello! And I didn't see anything. I just look at the floor.
Mary didn't get run over by what?
I got a close-up of the horse.
Did you hear it? He said American gets run over by a horse.
That will be my legacy.
This place, Pisa restaurant, is going to be your final meeting point. Do you
Turista.
already know the time? Bravi, bravissimi. Silvia told 12:15. So please be back here on time at 12:15 with Silvia. Okay? Thank you very much for your attention. The tour is finished. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. And I really wish you a nice stay here in Pisa and a nice cruise as well. Okay? Grazie mille.
Thank you.
Grazie, thank you so much.
Oh.
Grazie mille. Grazie, grazie. Thank you so much. Be
Where's my
careful.
money?
Be careful, there are cars.
I didn't bring my money. Can you believe it?
If you need to use washroom, if you like, I can show you the washroom. Would you like to follow me? Yes?
Yes.
12:15, we meet back here. Okay?
And this is a good place for coffee or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Grazie mille, sir.
I want to be
It seems to be small, but inside, on that side, there is a nice garden. Okay, I'll show you. Just
Okay.
follow me. What is important is 12:15 back here. You will see me holding up my number 5, okay? Once you see me, come closer to me, please, and tell me your room number so that I can think we are ready, we will be ready to go. Okay.
Woo! I might on you. Hey! Hey, hey, hey!
Because I certainly was fighting over control. Anyway, those 3 books we took these are like in
It's a one-way. We're just a little early.
So watch your step. So be careful, there is a step. Watch your step. Twice.
Hey, oh.
This is a nice area. Watch.
Ah.
Power. Okay, right again.
Toilet.
And tell you something. Our final meeting point, remember, is in the front side. But if you go, if you exit from this side, you will find yourself behind the tower, and it's a nice area to take pictures. Yeah, it's on our left side. So,
And sit anywhere you want?
yes, yes.
No special section? Oh, I lost my wife again.
To the left, washroom.
I guess I'll go to the toilet.
Washrooms, toilets.
Oops, I better get behind you. Wow, whatever.
I'd like to get Kent one of those Einstein shirts.
What does it say?
Oh my God, it's just funny. It's got him doing the thing like this in Pisa. It just cracked me up when I saw it. Because Kent loves Einstein stuff.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm going to go over there. Oh, we could... Can you go on the grass or no?
Thing up the, no, there's a sidewalk right next to it. You go down.
Oh. Right there.
Here it put your hand up like this right here.
You're kidding me. This way or that way?
There, perfect. There, I got it. Just like pushing against it. That was funny.
I'm only the billionth person to do that.
I know, I love it though. They're all doing
I love my brother. I wish all the best for you guys. How long were they here? Come from Pisa, no?
I think likewise there is with a
Happy life.
I feel like it'll jump on it. I feel like it'll jump on it. Oh, this is? They come like...
Nagaling talaga. Design nila yan.
It looks straight. Does it not? So what's that? 2 horses. Look at me. Ooh, look at that. Don't step there. Hey, Susie Q. I think I'll just go around the. You don't have to.
A nejde to tím telefonem? Musíš tím telefonem hejbat.
Here we go,
Napravo,
here we go,
nalevo,
here we go.
nahoru, dolů.
Whoa, everybody's doing it. What's that? In the costume.
Subway.
Does you have no buttons on the inside?
Subway. Subway's Italian? I like it. Who knew? And our meeting place is, all right, good to know. Hey, there's a step stool.
There's the
2 steps.
one, but it had Pisa.
Oh, okay. Oh.
They have a Maltese
Somebody just
one.
coughed on my face.
The Maltese. Son una. Oh, the Maltese.
Hey,
Una.
you'll never see another Maltese.
Not in Italian.
Oh. Maybe you can actually buy one here. Can't do that in Venice.
Dog?
No, I just mean you tried to buy something in the Vatican and nobody would wait on you. Hey, Audrey.
If I could find one for Kent.
I didn't know she was here.
Yeah, see, it should be one with Rome. Yeah, not pagan.
Well, I'm sure there is too. That's just here.
Yeah, yeah. That was another
Hey,
crazy.
hey.
Yes.
It's him.
just like to find that one for Kent.
You'd like to find what now?
That Einstein one for Kent. That
Oh.
says Pisa or something.
Well, there's still some more.
Lui non sa questa cosa? Lui non sa un cazzo, lui sa solo che c'è uno che gli va dietro, lui non sa non sa niente. No, non sa niente.
Where did you see it?
Oh, all the way up, but I haven't seen any.
We got time.
No, that's all right.
It's not quite 12.
We've got to be back at 12:15.
Hmm. They got James Morrison.
Now, see, they don't have any with Pisa on it, though.
All the rockers are here.
Different size one.
Okay, thank you.
Einstein? Where?
No, but I want
Oh,
the
that
one that
one,
says
okay.
Pisa on it with Einstein.
Okay, do you have another Einstein with
Einstein
the tower?
coming only this one.
Okay. Well,
Tower have lots of design. This one.
Yeah.
she likes Einstein.
Well, Kent would like that one.
This is, I sell a lot, and I don't know people like this. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Kent.
It is Kent.
Also more.
And my mom, too. My mom had that.
Oh, that's right, she did.
She loves that Einstein with his tongue
Let
out.
me see what Kent.
He was kind of a goof. Besides being smart.
Well, it'd be
We
nice.
have different size.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
On that. Is that where we were? Time is running out.
Non ti permettere più, aprire la bocca. Stai zitto che fai prima.
Uh-oh. Idea. So you have no desire to go get your Einstein?
I just am worried about getting ripped off.
Okay. I like to not worry. It's just, yeah, that's what I mean.
Let's go in a store and see.
Okay. Oh.
I would
Fotografo.
a little more comfortable.
Oh.
I don't trust. Yeah,
That would be you.
you a great deal. And I'm like, flag.
Flag. Would you like a volcanic pesto?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ask her. Einstein?
No, they don't have the shirts in here.
Okay.
Yes, about the movie Einstein.
Okay. Well, they probably have some nice ones here.
This is making for me. The Einstein, I don't know, maybe in China, maybe
Probably, yeah.
Einstein and the tower.
No. These are
Aha, see? Now we know. Thank you.
probably like one of these, a Vespa shirt. These are nicely made. Tiny though. That's a woman's.
Yeah. This is 8 euros.
Oh,
No? What was wrong with that shirt?
it's a Vespa one, and that would be expensive, and it's a women's, and it's very tiny. It's very fitted.
Okay. Oh, you don't. It would be too fitted for you. You're
No,
too.
it's not for me. It's
you're
for
too shy.
friend Betsy. I'm looking for.
And you know I don't
They've
need
just done so
anything.
much for us, you know.
Okay. I do know.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to.
That's all you're saying.
Get up here. I want to go just down in the shade.
Find some shade. Man.
Hello, how are you? Okay, no boss.
Three. Hey. Nobody I know. Six.
Ours isn't for 10 minutes. They're not out yet.
Yeah, let's go sit down. Then you can see people coming.
Inside the restaurant. There's the subway.
Yeah. I've seen it. Three? No. Five. Cinco. You got 3 and 6. It's like a mouse hole.
July and August, we would not want to be out of there.
Uh-oh. Where'd she go? Marie.
I'm always asking for him, so I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh. I need a leash. Hold on to me.
I found one for Kent.
Okay. That's Michelangelo. That'd be for your brother.
Well, that's David.
Oh, that's right. Well, it says
Michelangelo's
Michelangelo on top. Michelangelo does David. And there's your Audrey.
Ho preso da segnare, non sai quello che mangia, basta, il resto come... Sì, io così ho papà e papà. Allora, ci sono quelli che stanno, pizza e white pizza. Un'agola sotto.
You should ask.
Elena, scusa un attimo, lo scoperto della carta?
T-shirts.
Io non voglio sapere io, non so che cazzo nemmeno io, non c'ho nemmeno le vedi. Mettiamoli dove c'è lì.
Get a 20% discount.
You could get an Audrey. But no Einstein.
No, I don't want that. No, I just.
Just look in, if you need help, I'm here, okay?
She wants Einstein and the tower.
Okay, Einstein.
Yeah.
Let me see. Mona Lisa. I have Mona Lisa. I have that.
outside.
Okay.
Did you see it
Yeah.
outside?
He did, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
it's just that one there.
Just that one.
That was that
Okay.
one. Otherwise, we have the David, we have the Pisa Tower, we have this one, the cat Leonardo. Is it a male or female or child?
We want something with Einstein.
Oh.
It's for my brother.
Do you want me to go and get that one outside?
No, that's fine. It's too small, I think. So, thank you so much.